Hello, hello. Hi, all the wealth creators of 2022. How are you all? And are you with me this evening on Tuesday Live? And as you all know, I have a very exciting week this week, back to back, and it's exciting because I choose to have an exciting week. How about you? Okay. Today's topic. What is today's topic? Are you stuck in your business growth? And how to get unstuck for yourself and a breakthrough for 2022. I'm Stella Ho. I'm the founder of Real Wealth Creation. I'm here to share with you all the tools and tips to get you out there, crush your goals for 2022 in this live today. So if you are watching here live, say hi. And if you're watching on replay, say replay, hashtag replay. Yeah, today I'm really here to, enjoy the moment with you guys and talk about how to break through, how to get unstuck. The first question I have for you guys, let's be honest with yourself. First thing first, are you stuck in your business? Perhaps you're not stuck in your business because you have no business to begin with. You haven't started creating your business. If you haven't, I'm also here with you so that you know what steps to take to avoid getting stuck in future. And what is this stuck element I'm talking about? Some of you think that I just need more tools, more software, more platform, more mentors to resolve the issue of getting unstuck. How many of you are in that state that you think you need more programs, more tools? I haven't learned this. I've not practiced this enough. I don't know how to do this yet. Perhaps I need to learn this and add on my skill set, etc., etc. Anyone of you in that position? Just be honest, share here. Let's make it an interactive process for yourself so that you know you can help you. This is all about you. Okay. Many of you may say, okay, I may not know what to do. What's my niche for my business to begin? That could be you if you have not started the business process. Or if you're in the business process, you may say, hey, I don't know what's not working because I have my niche, but I don't have people to market to. I don't have the right audience. I don't have the right products. I don't know why it's not working. I actually want to dive deeper into this topic of what is getting you stuck. Perhaps you think it is really not enough tools and resources. However, I like you to think of who you have been, so far. What are the skill set, experience, knowledge, and qualification, certification that you have till now? That's important process because that will get you to at least getting to start. Okay. Yeah. Why? In order to find where's your niche, whether you are good in what you do, is to actually understand the process first of who you are, who do you resonate with, who's your target audience, and are you on the right path? And of course, and after you find that out, some of you may say, no, I already know my business. I have the people, I have the direction, but somehow it's not working yet and I don't know why. So why? So let us dive deeper to understand what is the why. That is, you can't find the answer yet. Let me just dive deeper into this topic because I do not wish you guys to think that it is not enough software, resources, platform. I guess it is the not knowing how to. Not knowing how to is the part that is pretty challenging for many people. Why so? Because there is no guidance to tell you what is needed, what is the system and process that you need when you start your entrepreneurship. It is all a fresh game altogether. And as you build a system and process, you may realize that you may not have some of the right tools and resources, or you don't even know what is right and what is wrong. So the question of searching for the right resources is the challenge. However, that is only the surface of the problem. The surface means the pain is there. You have this pain on your hand and you just think that the pain comes from this. Actually, it is not from the hand. It is from a deeper source beyond the hand. So what is it that's deeper than the hand? The question is, what is that source? What's the root cause of the pain? So I like to really dive deep into this topic on fears. Some of you may suffer from fear of failure, fear of responsibility. Some may even suffer from fear of success because you have more responsibility, actually, and you don't know how to deal with that success. Some of you have some fears of not knowing what to do, thinking that you're not good enough, etc., etc. And this fear level can go very deep because it's not just the fear on the surface. It is actually very deep inside you. And some of you don't even know what's this fear. Somehow you're always procrastinating, not moving forward. How many of you are in that state? That you're often procrastinating on something. Perhaps it is new to you, you're not familiar, so you do not dare to take the step forward. So there's no courage in this case. So my question is, where are you? You have to be honest with yourself if you want to create and scale your business for a breakthrough. So it's not about me, it is really about you, whether you are honest to want to take it forward for you. Because if you do not address your fears, in 1 year's time it's the same. In 2 years' time it's the same. In 5 years' time, it will still be the same. So I dive into this topic of fears for many of you guys here who came for a breakthrough call with me, and to find out what is this subconscious energy that's not serving you, that is stopping you from going forward, that's stopping you from finding that resource inside you. And it could be likely from a childhood incident or even from a trauma in your life. Let me share this example with you. When I was doing a process with one of my client family member some time ago, she found out that there was this subconscious memory of her in an accident. And that was when she was in her teens. And when we dive deeper into that incident, the level of guilt that she has developed over the years in her life, and is a natural instinct to feel guilty for something, is because of that incident, of the accident. It was a story of she was in the bus and they were going for some, I think, excursions in secondary school. So she was supposed to she sat on the front seat. Someone came up and said that seat belonged to her. So she has to give up the seat because since the other person said that seat belongs to her, so she gave up the seat. And she sat on the second row. Unfortunately, in that situation, there was an accident. So it was a very bad accident. She was okay, she was safe and sound. Unfortunately, for the first person who sat on the first row, who actually exchanged the seat from her, that person suffered major injuries. It was so major, I think it was concerning losing her limbs. And she was only in her teens. That memory stayed inside her and she felt guilty. The guilt prolonged, and she's in her 40s now, and she didn't understand why. That she has this fear of moving forward at times, fear of going forward in her direction. Just this fear of making a decision in some ways. So that incident of the accident would have caused a certain memory inside her to stop her in moving forward because of the guilt feeling. If she make a certain decision, would it impact on the person, the other person. And if it will impact on someone else, would I want to take the action? If I don't take this action, could it be better not to take the action because no one will be hurt? So this kind of memory at the back of your mind, which creates further impact, will actually stop her from moving forward in her life in some ways. And it does affect the relationship that she has with a family member. And it will definitely affect her business or career, because she always would have the fear of and the courage of moving forward, the courage of stepping out. This is one very clear incident that I could remember that impacts on someone else's life. And when you're a child, there was another story of being rejected as a child when this girl was very young. She's in her 60s now. And she felt rejected by her father as a child. So this fear of rejection stays in her mind at the back of the subconscious level. So as an entrepreneur in her 60s, she doesn't like to pick up the phone and make cold calls. She doesn't like to do the sales because there is this fear of rejection. She just didn't want to move forward in her business because something was holding her back. She didn't know what was it that was holding her back. So when we did this process in Fear to Power, she found out her childhood fear was the rejection by the father. We could actually go into the process to remove these inner fears inside her. And now her business is 6 figures over less than a year. This is how powerful your fear can take over you. And which is the reason why I'm really paying forward to do breakthrough calls here for any one of you who wants to break through in your business so that you can actually move forward in your life. And let me also share with you that if you come to my webinar on the 19th of January, I'm going to share with you, it is a free workshop. It is just going to actually guide you into knowing the different stages of life when you are a child at different ages. What is the formative values that causes you to be a certain character when you're an adult? And if you're a parent and you want to know what you are doing, is it affecting your children? Is it affecting how they respond to life? Then you want to be in this webinar, because we're going to touch deeply into all these things that impact the child's growth. And if you're a parent, you want the best for your child, so I will urge you to actually attend this Fear to Power webinar on the 19th of January. And we're going to put the link up here so that you can actually join us in this Fear to Power webinar, because it's going to help you in your business. When I came up with this Fear to Power webinar, I'm looking to actually support you to break through in your business. And you may wonder, hey, I don't have a mindset issue. I'm perfectly well. There's nothing wrong in my life. I just didn't know the way to go forward in your business. If you are that person, perhaps you want to dive deeper to know what is your subconscious fears. Because knowing your true fears behind you, then you know how to deal with the problem, isn't it? Otherwise, you're just going around in circles, trying to figure out, maybe I just add on another course, go for another coach, find another mentor. And as the days pass, you feel overwhelmed with training. You bought so many programs, yet you have no time to go through your training. And you've gone through so many resources, yet you do not know how to kickstart in your business. And you have all your family support, your friends support in your business, yet somehow the business can't scale. It all boils down to something called fears, something that is blocking you from moving forward, that you don't even know what is the reason behind it. And when we dive deeper and understand that as a child at different stages, you're looking for different direction. If you have no confidence, it is due to during 7 years old, perhaps you're not given certain responsibilities. Hi, Helena. Welcome to the show. Welcome is not a show. It is actually a webinar workshop that I'm just briefly sharing with you what does Fear to Power encompass. Is a free webinar workshop on the 19th of January. I just want to share with you guys that if you're feeling that you're stuck in your business and you think it is actually not enough resources, I don't know the steps, I don't know how, I don't have the formula, I don't have the capital, you are on the wrong side. Perhaps what is stopping to you is just your mindset, which is caused by fears from childhood. And during this process of helping many of the entrepreneurs out there, coaches, consultants, I have actually come to realize, and based on all the case studies, that most of them have no breakthrough. They can't create a business or scale is due to a fear. So we want to go deep into knowing what's that fear inside you. Otherwise, it pains me to see you walking in circles to create and scale a business. So on 19th of January, we're actually covering this Fear to Power workshop, which will actually dive from 0 to 2 years old. What is the child's needs? You may really think that this is not relevant. Then from 2 to 4, what does the child need? And from 5 to 7, 7 to 9, and 9 to 12, and 12 and beyond. At different stages of the life, of the child's life, it actually develops your values, your character, your belief system. And many a times, these value belief systems did not serve you well during this stage due to, I would say, unawareness by the parents. They do not know that this actually impact on the child's development years and actually impact them in adulthood, even in their job, the career, or the business. Henceforth, it was not taken care of at a young age. So as responsible adults right now, we should take care of our own well-being by diving back into our childhood to know what are the fears that stop us from moving forward in our life, in our business, and what is that thing that's causing us to actually not move on in our business and to break through in our business. And some of these fears can be related to even fear of success. Perhaps as a child, you're scoring very well in your studies, but however, you have never been appreciated or praised of, because especially in the Asian culture, it is not common for parents to praise the child. So there's this lack of affirmation. The lack of affirmation will make you feel that you're not good enough. So you're always chasing to prove your parents that you are better than you are right now, or then rather. So you're always chasing to be a better person. And when you're chasing, you lost sight of direction and you always want to be better and better. So what happened for this child who is in that position of lacking of affirmation from parents, lacking of affirmation from the ability? In adulthood, perhaps he may also be always chasing and not knowing whether he's good enough. And in the business, even though perhaps he is doing relatively well, he still thinks that he's not good enough. And he doesn't know how to go forward and be a better person because he was never good enough as a child. And this vicious cycle will go on, and perhaps this person may pass it on to the child, his child. So we want to break the cycle of never enough, never good enough. Are you always not good enough in your business? Are you always not good enough in your relationship? In your parenting? Are you always wanting to be that perfectionist in your life? To be always chasing for the result that you think can be better? So in Fear to Power process, we want to work with you to support you to understand and dive deeper into knowing who you are. Then you can actually clear all these inner fears inside you. So the childhood impact is actually very strong. And we want to address all this childhood impact in order to get you out of the fear situation. And let me also share with you another story. I have a client family. She came from a single parent family. So she was very poor when she was very young. So even though she was doing relatively well in her business, she was still very afraid of losing, very insecure. Because as a single parent family child, her mother was actually working very hard to support and provide. So with that mindset of lack, she's always chasing because she needs to fulfill, and she's afraid of losing. She's afraid of not having food on the table. She's afraid of not having the best things on the table, because as a child, they don't even have a kettle in the house, not a mattress to sleep on. So that kind of poverty that she went through as a child is a very deep imprinted memory. So as she grew up much older, she did well in school and landed, with a business. It was a constant chasing of finding what is better. Can I get a better business? Can I get better business result? And why? It is the feeling of emptiness that she had suffered during a child, that she didn't have all these things around her. She didn't have a house to live in. It was a rented place. There was no security. There was no safety and comfort as a child. So as a child, you grow in an environment with no security and comfort. So it resulted in her that she has no security and no sense of comfort even in adulthood. No sense of knowing whether she's doing well in her business, because the yardstick is too high. It's always moving. She needs to secure her position more and more. And as you have more, you also fear losing more. And when you fear losing more, you will keep chasing for more. So it's a vicious cycle of never ending. So what happened was, when she found out through the process that it was her childhood that actually restricted her power, her growth, her ability to surpass what she thinks she couldn't, what happened was, amazingly, within a short span of 6 months, she went from almost zero, very low income, to revenue of about close to $1 million in June 2021. This is the power she released. When she released all her fears from childhood, she was able to embrace all the abundance in her life. So I want you guys to know really that the fears inside you, whether it's from a trauma, whether it's from childhood, it perhaps is the real reason behind you not moving forward in your business. You may have already collected all the resources, the skill set, the knowledge to be able to break through in business. However, you have these inner fears of not being good enough that's blocking you from going forward. So I'm going to share with you a breakthrough call. So if you guys really want a breakthrough in your business, to know how to break through in your business, you can actually come in, and I'm happy to support you with a private call, because I know this has served many and I want to serve you as well. So if you like to have a call to understand what is that fear blocking you, you can actually go into this link and you can come in with a private time with me. This is given for free because I really want to serve you guys and support you in knowing what is getting you stuck in your business. And we'll work on your business to break through on the missing pieces through your mindset. And on 19 January, I'm going to have a webinar, which is next week, next Wednesday. I'm going to have a webinar workshop, and we're going to dive deeper into the different stages of growth that would impact on your mind frame. And knowing this is not just serving you. I have no intention to just serve you alone in your business. I've intention to help you become the model of excellence for your child. Because when you change, when you shift in your mindset, you remove the fears out of your system. Your family, the energy will change, and your children will actually benefit a lot. So if your parents out there and you have children and you don't know whether what you're doing is actually causing a vicious cycle in their adulthood growth, you want to dive in and join me in this Fear to Power session next Wednesday, January at 10 a.m. Singapore time. And if you're coming from US, that would be 9 p.m. EST on Tuesday. It is actually a very important workshop for us to really appreciate our make. Many people feels that we have to shift our values and beliefs in order to change a certain part of us because of the impact of these values and beliefs that doesn't serve us. However, you may not even know what is the thing that is not serving you. So we are actually going to dive very, very deep into the subconscious level. And by going into the subconscious level, your higher self will tell you what is the missing gap for your business and process. And then you will realize that everything gets unblocked and you have no issue going into your business process. So this is just a short sharing on Fear to Power, the 19th January. But let me go a bit deeper into business processes in order to get unstuck. We have the fears. We deal with the fears next Wednesday in Fear to Power session. Let's dive in to understand what else can we help ourselves get unstuck. So I want you to get a paper and pen and jot down this process for you. I want you to write down your qualification that you have gained over the years, your certification that you have collected in what areas, jot them down. The skill set that you have accumulated over the years, the knowledge, the experience, the learning. These are very deep. Why so? Because when you understand, for example, I'm trained in real estate, so I write down real estate as my degree. I have a degree in real estate. I have sales agency license. I have valuation license. I'm trained in valuation. I'm strong in negotiation because of the result that I give my clients. However, when I dive deeper, I also realized that my mindset was the one that supported me to achieve my goals. So then you want to actually write down from the year that you can remember, say from college onwards. Hi, Facebook user, welcome. You can actually go to streamyard.com/Facebook. Then I can see your name here. Okay, you want to go through this process. You can pull up an Excel sheet to make it easier for yourself. You can actually go in and create columns and then jot down this by year. Write down one column by year, the second column by qualification, the third column by skill set you have learned. Skill set can be dancing. You have learned dancing, yoga, whatever, sewing, anything. The third category will be the knowledge you have collected. Perhaps you learn how to fix a computer yourself. Yeah. The next category would be the experience that you have in your life. Perhaps you have served as a volunteer police. Perhaps you have served in the volunteer at the hospital. Those are things that you want to write down as an experience as well. Or perhaps you have sold stuff in the supermarket and you understand the operational process. So you want to jot all these down in detail. And the last column is the part that you reflect on each of the skill set, experience, achievement, qualification, certification. What is the learning that you have from there? Do you learn, for example, if you are a GM of a company, perhaps you learn how to run a company structure, the HR, the admin processes, how to set up a company structure, how to run the operation, example. If you have been in, maybe you have studied NLP, then you may have, certain processes that you're familiar with, and you jot down all these processes that are useful to help in your coaching business if you're in coaching, or to help in your consultancy business, or help in your business per se, whatever business you have, sell services and products. So by doing so, you are actually diving into not just the surface, understanding the different areas that you have, different papers that you actually collected over the years, but understanding each part of it. What is the learning that you have? How would it help you? When you go through that, you can actually see which is the part of the skill set or the experience or the knowledge that is lacking in you. And if you're in a company, you can actually perhaps delegate to someone who specializes in that area who can help you. Or perhaps you want to learn it yourself. My recommendation is you might not want to learn it yourself. You might want to actually allocate to someone, delegate to someone to do the area of work. And even about this delegation, some of you are very in the business. So maybe one part of your experience is you have been an entrepreneur for the last 10 years, let's say, for example. However, for the last 10 years, you have been busy in the business. You'll be setting up the business system, you're doing the accounting, you're setting up the HR, you're doing the sales, you're doing business development, you're doing every single thing in the company. Then you may have also been losing sight of the company growth because you are so much in the business. Good evening, Eunice. Nice to see you here. Yeah. So by understanding this different aspect of the areas of your life journey, you can actually break it down to see actually which is your passion, which is the areas that you're good at. And perhaps maybe for someone who's more spiritually evolved, they may also identify what is their purpose in their life. And when you start to write this down, you can actually have more clarity on whether this business is suitable for you that you're doing. Or do you want to fine-tune your business to serve you? Because one will not enjoy going to work at their business if this is not something you love or you know has a good purpose. So you want to really dive deep to understand these areas. And by knowing all these processes, okay, if you're coach or consultant, this is going to serve you very well. By knowing all these different areas, it means that you can provide a bigger area of services, meaning you can set up different departments with the different services, different areas of work, because you can create the system. Or you can even create, like if you are in coaching, you can create different programs to teach people how to do those areas of work. So I find this very useful for my mentees, which I teach more in depth. They have it more in depth. I'm coming here for a webinar workshop to share briefly with you how you can use these to serve your business. And that's when you dive deeper into the different areas of specialty in you. There was a period of time in our decade that people say that you need to specialize, right? You need to specialize in an area, which I did, of course. I went to real estate. However, we come to a period, if they say astrology whatsoever, we come to a period in time when it is about you need to know it all. Isn't it true? Some of the entrepreneurs out there, isn't it true that you need to know it all? However, knowing all doesn't mean you have to do it all. Knowing it all means that you need to know the different aspect, the general intention of the direction, and you know how to lead. So it is important for you to know the aspect of it, to understand how to work within a certain boundaries, and then choose to delegate things that is not your zone of genius. So this is the part of business that I like you guys to really take some time to work on it. Yeah, yes, time has changed drastically. Yeah, except for, of course, doctors who still need to specialize and lawyers who need to specialize. I think for the rest of the trade, you have to learn beyond your time. So I actually heard recently from another friend that she works in a company, and the secretary, the clerical support, and the administrative support, they were asked to learn coding, the computer coding, to keep up with times. So the company expect them to also upgrade their skills. So time has changed. You must have the ability to pivot online, to be as fast as the market or not too far away, so that you can catch up with times, which is why it's a never-ending learning world right now. And you must be able to embrace the different aspects. So when I ask you to actually break down all these areas, your qualification, your certification, your skill set, your knowledge, your experience, all these areas, you can actually dissect into what are you good at? What are you truly good at? And how can you use this knowledge, skill set, qualification, certification, experience to actually help in your business? Can you develop more or change the way you do business so that it support you going forward? So this week for you guys is really to dive in two things. One is to discover what is the thing, the procrastination. What is that fear that is stopping you from going forward? Write that down. Reflect and see what is that fear that's blocking you. The second homework is to write down all these dimensions, your life journey, to see that you are good enough because you have collected so many achievements in your life, so many options, so many knowledge, so many skill sets. It is probably you are too distracted looking for the next shiny object in order to focus in one area of competency, if not excellence, otherwise a zone of genius to progress. Yeah, number one is the fear that is blocking. Eunice is very aware of this. She's a part of the coaching group, and she's very aware that many times for business owners not going forward, procrastination, not doing what they want to do is due to a fear inside them. Yeah. So once we dive first into the fears and then into the knowledge, experience, skill set, qualification, certification that you have, we can know where are you blocked at, or are you just collecting knowledge? Are you afraid to do all those that you have collected over the years? And if it's so, definitely there is a fear inside you to not help you. Yeah, this list has keep you going. Yeah, definitely. And when you actually upgrade this list now and then, constantly run this list, every quarter update the list, you realize that you accumulate enough skill set and ability inside you. And if you're still not moving forward, something is very wrong, right? Then it is time to really dive and find out what is it that's stopping you from breaking through in your business. Okay, so I'm going to share with you this link on Wednesday on Fear to Power so that you guys can also know another aspect of what is stopping you from moving forward. Is it the skill set, knowledge, experience, or it is something else called fears? And what is that fear inside you? I have heard fear of rejection many times, and it often comes from childhood. I've also heard different types of fears. Yeah, fear of actually is no confidence. Where did the no confidence come from? No courage. Where did that come from? So procrastination is just a symptom. Let's dive deep to know in the webinar workshop on 19 January. So I welcome you to join in the webinar workshop, and I'll place the link here. Next Tuesday, we'll cover something very different again. And we'll invite in a subsequent Facebook Live, we'll be inviting guests to join us so that you can hear from them the different areas of expertise, and you can also empower yourself to have a bigger area of expertise by learning from the experts. So this is planned for the month of February. And if you guys really want to break through in your life, join us every week. This is a space of free resources, free training, and if you are really keen to learn, just don't stop here. Come every Tuesday at 9:30 p.m. We'll have many different types of sharing in order to empower you for business success. And bye for now.